X1. The launch time is scheduled at 7 p.m. and 15 seconds Central Time, 8:15 and 8 p.m. and 15 seconds Eastern Time, which will be 9 a.m. and 15 seconds Japan time on Sunday morning. Once the HTV-X1 arrives on orbit, JAXA engineers at the main control center in Tsukuba, Japan, will put the vehicle through a series of systems demonstrations to prove it can arrive safely at the station on Wednesday morning autonomously, where JAXA astronaut Kimiya Yui, backed up by NASA's Zena Cardman, will use the Canadian-built robot arm to reach out and grapple HTV-X1. Yui and Cardman will then hand over robotic operations to ground controllers here at Mission Control in Houston, who will maneuver the vehicle to the Earth-facing port of the Harmony module for its installation and its bolting into place for its planned 3-month stay. The H3 rocket that you're looking at is a 2-stage booster fueled by liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, and for today's launch, accompanied by 4 strap-on solid rocket boosters. Those solid rocket boosters will separate about 2 minutes after launch, followed 1 minute later by the jettison of the payload fairing in which the HTV-X1 is encapsulated. The first stage engines will shut down about 5 minutes after launch. Then the second stage engine kicks in for around 9 additional minutes of thrust. If all goes as planned, the HTV-X1 will separate from the H3 second stage about 14 minutes after launch, followed about 28 minutes later by the deployment of the twin solar arrays on the vehicle. These are called solar paddles by JAXA. This is different from the original HTV cargo craft that derived its power from body-mounted solar cells. We're inside 11 minutes until the scheduled liftoff. This is an instant launch window for the H3 rocket. It will arc out over the Pacific into an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator to match the orbital inclination of the International Space Station. At spacecraft separation, the HTV-X will reach an altitude of about 186 statute miles and will then incrementally go through a series of rendezvous burns, height adjustment maneuvers, and co-elliptic maneuvers and fine-tuning mid-course correction burns to reach a point directly below the station in the neighborhood of the ISS on Wednesday morning, where it will inchworm its way up that R-bar, the radial vector, the imaginary line drawn between the station and the Earth, to reach a point about 30 feet away from the station. That's where Yui and Cardman will extend the Canadarm2 robotic arm and reach out and grapple HTV-X